Welcome back to the podcast. And following on from our last episode, I'm joined with Damion Merry again, and he's going to explain how he's achieved some incredible success in his first 6 months of estate agency. Damion, people would love to know how you achieved your success. So could you tell us some of your secrets and some of the things that you've done?
I don't want to give away all the secrets, but a few of them, just like you've always said, like in our previous interview about trusting the process, and a lot of the training videos, the success came from, Terry and John, and they talk a lot about refined magazines. That's one of the big ways of, creating the rapport with somebody, not expecting something straight away, giving. And that's what I learned in the US, and again from Gary Vee, about give. And that was a lot of advice you were giving is just, be helpful. Give people advice, give people a free magazine, help them with their search, help them with anything really. So I took that on board very early, and there's no real one thing that I've done to get these results. It's a mixture of everything. The Refined magazine, literally going to somebody's property, knocking on the door. Hi, I'm here today to give you a complimentary magazine. I can see you're selling your house. This has got a collection of all of the beautiful homes across the country. Oh, really? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. And they're almost like, okay. And you're just like, no, that's it. Take care. You want something, but you're not there that first time to take from it. You're just there to be a helpful person, give them some information, a really beautiful magazine, and at the same time, probably be more proactive than their current agent is. There's a lot of different steps. Social media in my previous business was good for me. That's how I got a lot of business. And I know social media in the UK, again, light years behind the US, because that's all they do. They push social media, video content every single day. And I think a lot of the UK, British people in general, are a bit more reserved about being on camera. Nobody likes the way they look. Nobody likes the way they sound unless they're completely full of themselves. But, I watch some of my videos and I just think, oh, God. But I've got to the point, I don't even play it back. As long as I know kind of what I'm saying is, the message is out on the video, just put it out there. Don't worry about it. Get on with the next one. And I've kind of made a point now, every single day, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, something has to go on each platform. And my day is not done unless that happens. So that could be something about the monthly market update. That could be a new listing. That could be, I'm just out today with a picture of the Refined magazine in the countryside, just out today delivering our magazine. It could be a video on what is gazumping. It could be a video on any of the top 20 streets in Oxford, just something, not always, I am the best estate agent in the world. I'm going to sell your house today. This is my results. Not me. It's just a variety of different things. Is it jab, right hook, Gary Vee says? Yeah. And that's the principle that I follow a lot now, giving content out. And then every so often, this is my new listing. But again, that's not me asking for anything from these people. It's just showing them what I'm capable of, showing them the videos, showing them the kind of properties. So social media, giving content is very, very important.
Where did you get your first listings from? Where did they come from?
My first one was from a Refined magazine to the guy at the £1.5 million house. Yeah. And he actually wasn't in. So I was, all the videos I watched was knock on the door, have a chat with them, give. This guy wasn't in. So I had a little personal letter in there. Sorry, I missed you today. Would love a chat. This is Damion from Fine & Country. Here's your complimentary magazine. 5 minutes later, I was on the A34 somewhere in Oxford, and he calls me. He says, oh, Damion, I've just, what is it? Have you found somebody to buy my... And I said, no, I'm not your current agent. I'm offering you a magazine because you're selling your house and you might want to buy a new one. He said, okay, come by. And I was there for 2 or 3 hours, had a really good chat with him, told him about what we can offer at Fine & Country, a little bit more about me. And then the whole sales side of it kind of went out the window, and we were just having a nice conversation. And he said, do you know what? In the 6 months that my house has been on the market with my previous agent, I've spent more time with you today than any conversation that I've had with him in that entire 6 months.
Wow.
I said, is that not normal then? Do they not update? And I didn't know at this point that we touch base with them every week and every 30 days. We kind of talk over what's happened. And they said, no, we just don't hear from people. We don't have feedback. It's almost like once they've got our listing and our picture in their shop front window, that's it. They're done with us. So that was that blew me away because a lot of my business in the US came from customer service and referrals.
Yeah.
And it sort of shocked me. So I thought, okay, this is a real weakness in maybe a lot of UK estate agents that they don't communicate.
Yeah.
And what I learned in the US was over communicate. You know, just update them. Just, you know, this is the kind of feedback we're having. This is what's happening in the market. This is, you know, just chat to them. It doesn't hurt, even if it's a text message.
Yeah.
So that's something I like to do a lot of my clients. It's just every type of marketing that we can physically do is just, it blows me away that other agencies don't do it. Yeah. And it seems to be take some photos, stick it on Rightmove and wait.
Yeah.
And to me, it just blows me away. So we do photos, we do the videos, we do, you know, the 3D Matterport tours and all these amazing different marketing methods.
Yeah.
And I just don't see any other agents doing it. And I think, why? Is it a financial thing? Is it time? Do they not want to be on camera? And it's just all of these things that I personally think if they're not doing it, I'm going to do it tenfold. If they don't do social media, if they do it once a month, I'm going to do it every single day without fail. And that's what's starting to get me more listings. I even did a video on my top 10 tips from working from home if you've got kids.
Yeah.
Guy on LinkedIn called me up, Damion, it's a great video. I see you've been delivering my your Refined magazine to my house as well. He said, you know, I saw your name in there and then I saw you on LinkedIn. He said, maybe we should have a chat. Went round, it's £1 million listing. And he signed up on the spot. He was like, yeah, it was helpful. So it's crazy where listings can come from. But I think if you don't put yourself out there, how is anybody supposed to know you even exist?
Yeah. So, and he read your article about what to do in lockdown with kids or something.
Yeah.
That was an article and he found you on LinkedIn. That's brilliant. And so it doesn't have to be about the property market or estate agency, what things to do with your kids during the holiday or during lockdown. So it's just putting content out there. So you're doing social media content every day.
Every day.
Brilliant. So what would you say to people who you mentioned about who don't want to be on video? I think, you know, I'm a bit nervous about video. You know, what would you say to them? You know,
as brutal as this probably sounds, tough luck.
Yeah.
Because I don't like how I sound and look on video. I'll probably watch this back and think, oh God, look at where you look or dressed or whatever. But that is me. And can't be that bad because my wife's beautiful and she married me and you wanted me to come and, you know, do this with Finding Coach. So you can't be that bad. So it's like you've almost just got to get over it. That is how you look. That's how you sound. If you don't want to feel bad about yourself, just don't watch it. Just don't watch it back. Just push record, send it onto your social media. And what people think that other people think about them, they don't care. They couldn't care less about your hair or your voice or your makeup or your clothes. People don't care. They've got their own lives. Yeah. The way the world's going at the moment, people got bigger problems to worry about than how you look or sound. And as I said on our previous one, it's better to put something out that's average than to put nothing out, because what I found is the more videos I do, the more people start to know me. Like, we didn't meet for 4 months and you felt like you knew me from seeing my videos, and the same with you.
Yeah.
And the more, you know, I almost saw the way you laughed and smiled and what you found funny and how you talk. And it's almost like I got to know you without knowing you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what my clients are thinking of me. They almost, when I walk in the door, they're like, hey, Damion. And it's like we've known each other.
Yeah.
And I haven't even done them. I've never even met them before. So I think that's the next step of why I do videos, is to know, like, and trust me. That's what I want people to do. I want them to get to know me.
Yeah.
So when I'm walking in the door, they feel like they know me already.
Yeah. So like half the work's already done.
It's done.
Like, it used to be that you meet someone on a market appraisal. That's the first time they've met you, and you've got to build a rapport within that first 20 minutes or 30 minutes, get to know them but often they've already done that. They've seen your video on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. They already feel like they know you. They already decided they like you and trust you. So a lot of that is dealt with before you even get there. You mentioned earlier about, you know, when you get a listing, that can often generate other listings. Have you got any examples of that and how that's happened?
Yeah, so there's a street in Oxford, Harcourt Hill. It's a pretty prestigious street, and that's one of the areas I was really targeting. It's pretty local to me. And I got one of the first one, the £1.5 million listing. And there's one just around the corner that was for sale. Really hitting that one heavily. ignored me for months and months and months. I managed to sell the £1.5 million house, had the sold board up instantly because that was my first. It was a great feeling. And they called me and they said, oh, Damion, we'd like you to come round and, value our house. So I went round, had a chat with them, texting, ignored me. And they saw another sold board go up in the same street. Damion, come round because we know that one was impossible to sell. You must know what you're doing, because they were on for 6 months. The other people were on for 4 months, and these people were on for 4 months. And it's a challenge, obviously, picking up the listing second or third. And it's almost, people have seen these houses. But what I say to people, you don't have to drop the price. Don't think I'm going to come in and say, you've got to drop the price by 200,000. Your property needs to be marketed the right way. Yeah. And that's what we do. We're not the cheapest, but that household and that household, both being on the market with 2 other agents for 6 months. And that's not an accident. That's through video and social media and the Times, the Telegraph, all of these amazing things we do. It works. And then they bought into it. And, they were on for 4 months. And I think in 5 days, I had 4 offers and it was sold full price within the first week. And I don't want to sell houses within the first week because I want to market the property and I want to get it out there and show people what we do and have the sale boards up. But in this instance, they've been on for months and I wanted to almost prove to them, this is what I'm capable of and this is what the brand of Fine and Country can do for you with this marketing. And they were just blown away. And then that one leads to something else, and the videos that we produce. I mean, I go way overboard on the videos for the properties, but that's my favorite bit of the whole job. When me and Matt get together and we storyboard it, and we don't just film the house because we've got international buyers. So yeah, the house is great. That's 50% of it to me. My other 50% of the video is, where can I play golf? Where can I drink a beer? Where can my kids go horse riding? What are the local schools like? So I'm not just selling a house, I'm selling the lifestyle and building the value. And that's ultimately what's making the house prices go up a little bit more as well.
Yeah. And the area, I mean, you've got to sell the area and the facilities in that area. And you're right, because most people watching a video, they might live 100 miles away. They don't know what it's like to live in that area. So yeah, I've seen some of your videos. I thought that looks like a really nice place to live, and people want to buy into that. I think, yeah, I want my kids to go to that riding school or that private school or play golf there. And, it definitely helps sell it. So your videos are brilliant. And you use those to win other listings, I take it. How do you?
So my one secret sauce that I will give away is if somebody calls me up for an appraisal, I'll say, please spend 5 to 10 minutes before I come to your house to have a look at my agent video. So I've made a video about myself and what I do and what we can offer at Fine and Country. Yeah. And then they also tell them or ask them, please watch 2 of my latest listings. Not all of them. I'll say on YouTube, there's 10, 20, whatever on there, but just watch my 2 latest listings to get a feel of what I do and what we do at Fine and Country, because it might not be for you.
Yeah.
Some of these people might not like what I do.
Yeah.
Some people absolutely love it. So again, I don't want to say my job's done by the time I go in the door, but I don't want to go in and say, sell, this is what we do, this is what I charge, blah, blah. I want to walk into that door, they know me, they know all the process, and it's just a case of, okay, Damion, how much is it? And that's what's happening at the moment. Yeah, it all sounds great. We've been on with this other agent at 1%. Obviously, you're not 1%, are you? No, we're double, maybe 2.5 times that, and you've got to pay upfront marketing. Yeah. But these are the results we get. And then some people push back on it. And I say, but, I go to some houses on viewings where they'll spend £300-400 on flowers for staging and new cushions and new rugs. And I say to people, would you pay £1,200 up front for your house, to invest in your house, to have a video, a drone video, even for your own memories, just to have it? And they're like, oh yeah, of course. And I say, on top of that, you can be in the Telegraph, the Times, there's magazines that get hand delivered by me. I'm out on the streets 2 or 3 days a month, knocking on people's doors, giving these and they're like, well, yeah, that's great value. But all of that kind of work is done in the video prior to being there.
Yeah.
I just want to go out, have a nice conversation with them, have a coffee, get to know them, and then just keep it simple and not salesy and cheesy, because the video's already done that. And if they still want me in the house, I know that's a good sign.
Yeah. And I remember you saying someone saw your latest listing. Where did that come from?
We did the Knoll, which was around about £4 million property, beautiful one in Nottingham, went really overboard again on the video, drones up 500 feet in the air. And then another office, Fine and Country office in the Midlands somewhere, the owner of the house actually called me direct. Nothing to do with Oxford, because I'm just Oxford based, and they were up somewhere else. And he said, right, I need you to do my video exactly how you did the Knoll. And I said, yeah, but I'm not in your territory. And he said, no, I'm not selling my house with Fine and Country unless you drive up here and do the video. So I called you and I said, Sean's not really my area. He wants me there tomorrow. I don't know anything about this property. I said, can I do this? And obviously you said, yeah, well, it's a listing, obviously. So, I called the other agents. We kind of agreed a little thing between us, and I went up and did it. Beautiful house again, but that just shows the power of video. Yeah. My video was out, the house, we were already doing open houses, everything. I thought that was kind of done and I'm just getting on with the next one. But what these videos do for you is they're actually working for you when you're asleep. Yeah. People could be up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, and they could scroll past your video, and that's selling for you without you even knowing it. Yeah. So that's why every single day put something out, because that, and I know on the algorithms, 10% of people only capture your video. So if you're only putting one out a month or one a week, so many people are going to miss it anyway. But if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and boosting them, you're going to have to invest, which a lot of people don't want to do. Yeah. But, I've spent $5,000 in 6 or 7 months on my Facebook ads. But if that kind of money's coming in, to me, it's a tool. Yeah. And, I come from the construction industry in California, and we were always buying sanders and drills, and we spent like $50,000 a year on tools. And coming into this industry, there's no tool. So I was thinking, what do I need to invest in? But social media is probably the most powerful tool you can have in this industry, because you can literally put yourself out there. And the Knoll video, I think within a week, I was seen by 50,000 people. And obviously it went around all of the other offices and the power of that video, I have no idea how many people have seen that. It could be 250,000 people who didn't even know it existed before. So the power of video and social media, without doubt, that's the strongest asset in this industry. Yeah.
And so before you go to a market appraisal, they're watching your videos, you're sending them, and then a video about you saying what you can do. So it's almost, that's doing the work for you before you get there. I tell you what I also liked is that, in fact, you put some of your videos on a USB stick. Yeah. So tell me how that works, what you did, and what results you got from that.
So with lockdown, I was trying to be a bit creative, because there was an awkward couple of months in the year where you could knock, you could be the Amazon guy, knocking and giving them, but there was an awkward point of lockdown was pretty serious. So I thought to myself, how can I introduce myself to these people without having to upset them? Because a lot of this delivering the magazine is probably a 2, 3, 4 month process. Yeah. Give them the magazine, the next month have a chat with them, the next month, so I was thinking, how could I do this? And a lot of agents just do a letter inside a magazine, which is obviously taking it one step further. It's good. I've done that and it works for me. So, but I took it another stage further, and again, investing, because these USBs are a couple pound each. So I delivered the refined with a letter, with a USB, with my agent video and a couple of recent videos on. And a couple of the appraisers I went to, the USB, months after I was there at their house, it was on the side, and they said, yeah, we've still got that, Damion. You can have it back after I've signed up the instruction. So it's basically just finding new ways of getting in front of people. Now there's obviously, the QR codes, there's different ways of doing it, but that investing in someone and giving them something, a magazine, a letter, a USB, a market update, all I'm doing is giving these people things. Yeah. And just constantly giving. And that USB, as small as it is, that's me kind of asking for a bit of business there, because that's what we do. We need the business. Yeah. And we can't help somebody forever. We've got to, jab, hook. And that USB is that's my right hook. Yeah.
And so you've had listings and you've shown people around a house, and then you've looked after the buyer well. They've come to you and said they want to sell with you, haven't they? And, it's great to see that. I think, tell me what one of the couples said to you recently, where they said, oh, we saw you at this house and we saw you did a video. Could you do that for us?
So somebody called me up on one of my properties for sale. It's a £2 million house. And they said, hi, is that Damion, the movie star? And I said, yeah, just joking around. They said, oh, we'd like to view the property. Our house is not on the market yet, but we're thinking of moving in that general area. And I thought, a lot of other agents at the moment are pre-qualifying because the market's so crazy.
Yeah.
They're turning people away because, no, I don't want to waste my time on you if you can't afford this, which is fair.
If they've got a house to sell,
yeah. But they didn't have a house to sell. Well, they did have a house to sell, but the house wasn't on the market. They had no other agents out, but they were thinking about moving.
Yeah.
And I thought I could dismiss these people straight away. I kind of like them because they call me a movie star, so that was cool. But I was just talking to them and they said, yeah, we like that area. We've been thinking for the last 4 or 5 years whether to sell, and we've just never really pulled the plug. And I was like, okay. I said, yeah, come and have a look at the property. Walked around within minutes. They were like, no, it's way too small for us. And I was like, okay, no problem. And they said, but we like your video, and we actually came here to see how you would be showing somebody around a house as well, because we don't know what estate agents are like. We've got terrible experience with estate agents. And I said, okay. I said, well, I'll come by and check out your property. It's not an issue. I'm here. And I did, and I valued it, and we had a great relationship. I accidentally left something at the owner's house, and I called him and I said, oh, I left my book at your property, but don't worry about it. I know we're going to do business. I'll speak to you soon. He laughed. And then, today he called me up. He said, yep, Damion, you've got the paperwork. Come and get the magazine when you do the video of the property. So I think it's not just about pushing the content out, not just about doing the refined magazines, not just about over communicating, but looking after people that are just simply viewing a house. And what I've learned in this short 6.5 months is that it can come from anywhere, and you never know who's watching you. You don't know who's looking at your social media. You don't, I've got colleagues like John Hanford. He had somebody looking at his LinkedIn for 2 years, never liked it, never commented it, but still chose him to sell the house. And that's what's happening to me. But my biggest advice would be that's never going to happen unless you put videos out, whether you like it or not, every single day. And it is difficult, but there's so much content you can put out there. It doesn't have to be anything related to houses. It can just be going out for a play date with your kids. You could be going to the park. You could be on a boat, and you could be doing anything. Yeah. But if you don't get it out there for people to know you, like you, and trust you, how are they going to know you exist? Yeah. There's too many estate agents out there. And if they're not doing the videos, do it, because that gets business. Yeah. And didn't that couple who asked you to come look at their house, did they say to you, can we have a video like that? Or was that just a one-off? Yeah, they said, surely you don't do that for every house. And I said, I've got to the point now where the videos make so much of an impact, I cannot take on a listing unless somebody wants to do a video. Yeah. And I felt not arrogant saying it, but I said to them, look, this house was on for 2.5 million with one of the big 2 agents for 4 or 5 months. No viewings, no offers. I had it, and within 1 week, I sold it for 2.6 million to somebody in Singapore. I said, that says everything you need to know, because it's not just a picture in a high street. This is videos going worldwide. Yeah. They saw it. They didn't know anything about the area, but because I was on a boat, because I went to the tennis club, because I went to the golf club, and I went to the restaurant, they now know about the area, and they bought it from Singapore. English guy, doesn't even need to fly over to see it because I've done the job in the video. Yeah. And they said, well, okay, how can you refuse that? Yeah. And that's why video, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's talking about schools or video is the most important thing you can do. And I think you say to people, you mentioned it earlier about you're not an estate agent. What do you tell them you are or you do? Honestly, I say to people now, I'm just an animal when it comes to marketing. Yeah. I just say that's it. I'm just very proactive. I will do the absolute best service. And the good thing about my job, I don't get paid unless your house sells. So I'm not here for fun. Yeah. I'm not here to have a pretty video, because that's like a good 9-10 hours goes into each of these videos. I boost it on my social media. It's a big investment to do these videos, and I don't get paid unless your house sells. But I say to them, that's unbelievable for you. Because if there's this much pressure on me financially to look after my family, and I'm not here to, say your house is worth 1.4 when it's worth 2 million. My job is to get you the absolute maximum number, because I want you to give referrals and tell your friends and family about me, and that's how I'm going to get my business. But I don't get paid until your house sells. Yeah. And they love that, and I like it. I said there's something strange in my head that actually works better when I know I'm going to get paid for results rather than just sitting there and just hoping the phone rings, because it's not going to happen.
And so you're an animal with marketing, and people do love that. They're going, right, that's what we need. We're not interested in an estate agent. We want you because you're excellent in marketing. But another one of your important skills is negotiation. Like, you work hard to negotiate that, offers to the maximum to achieve the best price for your vendor. You just mentioned that house that was 2.6 million. Mm-hmm. That wasn't the first offer. Where did they start their offer?
They started at 2.3. Came up to 2.4, and I said to him, look, I'm holding an open house in 4 weeks' time. You've called me within the first week. I can't sell it for 2.3, 2.4, or even 2.5 million.
Yeah.
I want to give my clients all the marketing in the world, because, no offense to you, Mr. Buyer, I'm looking after the seller. They're paying me, and I want them to get as much money as I physically can get them. I want them to go into all of the publications I can possibly do. I want them to go into the Refine magazine. I want to do the videos. I want to do everything. I don't just want to sell it in a week. And I think most agents probably would, for as little money as they could, just to get the deal done, just to get on with the next one.
Yeah.
And funny thing about that whole process is he paid, excuse me, 100 grand more than the asking price, because I told him you have to pay more to get it off the market.
Yeah.
He did that. And we had a good back and forth. But fast forward to yesterday, he calls me up, Damion, we're just about to exchange on the house. That's great. I've got a house in Maidenhead. Really like the way you did things. I really like the way you pushed for more money. Sell my house.
Brilliant.
I was like, hang on, do we cover Maidenhead? Looked on the map. Yes, we do. And I was like, so again, you just never know where they're coming from. And, when we do tell them we charge more and there's an upfront fee, some people do push back. But if you're that confident in your abilities, like, my next step is to charge a little bit more. But for the moment, I charge 2% plus VAT, 12.50 plus VAT always. But I need to take it to that 2.5% plus VAT level. And I should, and I'm probably at the point where I can, but I want to get myself established. And this first year I've said to myself, because they're 2, 3, 4, 5 million pound listings, 2.5% is a lot more money for me. But for this first year, I really want to get settled and have a good name, a good brand. And, if I've got to lose a bit financially that way, and I'll do it. But I know eventually I have to get to that point. And that's my biggest downfall at the moment. And that's what I need to start pushing on.
Okay. So we're talking about fees then. So you're charging 2%. A lot of your competitors are charging 1%, 0.75, even 0.5%. How are you? I mean, you've sort of answered the question already in some of the things you've said, but some of these owners are saying, well, they're charging 1%. Why should I use you? How are you overcoming that objection? How are you justifying it? Or even if is it a question that comes up? Do they already realise that it's worth paying more?
Sometimes. Sorry, that's a buyer. I'll leave that a second. Yeah. So some people. It depends on different personalities. So some people say to me, if you match them, I'll go with you right now.
Yeah.
And I say to people, but they're charging you 0.7. Even the big boys agents, the two big renowned ones I'm hearing in my area, they're charging 0.75%.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, but you've been on the market for several months with these people. They could have done it for free. They could have done it for 5%. It's irrelevant because they haven't sold your house. And I say to people, if they're charging you 1% with no marketing, you've got no videos, no drone, no, advertiser, you've got no newspaper, that they've got no budget.
Yeah.
So what do you expect? So you want to choose me at the same fee, but you want all of this to come with it? I said, it's physically impossible. I said, we even sat down and worked out that each listing, all of our marketing probably cost about £15,000 from a business perspective, from like a Fine & Country Newman's perspective. And we're only asking you to pay £1,250 or £2,000. It's insignificant. And what I do say to people is when they say, we don't, and I say, you've got to pay something, because Fine & Country are not going to spend all of this money and get you in the centre page of the Telegraph and the Times. I'm not going to spend a day doing a video for you to go on the market and then pull out in a week. You've got to contribute something just so you've almost got a bit of skin in the game.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we understand. And I said, but you get to keep all of this after. You get a lovely video, you get the brochures, you get all of this, almost like a momentum of what's gone on in your life, because you've obviously worked hard to get this property. And that nobody really argues that anymore. They try, but now I'm at the point where I'm not I don't want to say I was desperate in the beginning, but I'm at the point now where I'm worth this fee. And even if I'm not, all the stuff that Fine & Country give you for the marketing perspective, it costs a lot of money, and you can't expect that for 1%, even 2% really. And if you're comparing it to other agents in the world, Germany 7%, US 6%, you know, these are the cheapest fees in the world, and I should be charging you 3, 4, 5%, but I can't because you're used to 0.75%, a percent. So I'm competing with these other people. But I think what you want to do and what I'd like to do is have everybody charging higher fees, and then every property having great videos, every client having this good service, and ultimately we are thought of as professionals like they are in the US.
Yeah, that's great. I totally agree, 100%. And you're worth every penny of 2%. And I think people, when they see the sort of effort and the marketing that you put into it and your negotiation skills, you're not the typical estate agent. And it's almost good that you've come into this industry not knowing what the typical estate agents do, and you haven't had any bad habits, and you've come in with a completely open mind, learnt some of the ways of the American estate agents, the Australian, some of the forward-thinking estate agents in the UK, and implemented it. And you're getting some great results. And I think it's fantastic that you're able to share that and hopefully inspire other estate agents. And I'm sure there'll be people watching this today who will go, yeah, do you know what? We do need to improve what we do. And it also makes people realise, or estate agents realise, that the homeowners are happy to pay 2% if you're providing value for money, getting better results, and you're demonstrating that, and you've got case studies. And I mean, it must have been hard to start with, because you're first of all saying, well, I haven't got any examples, you just have to trust me.
Yeah.
But once you've got one listing and you've got been able to show the results you've achieved, then it's great that other people are realising, yeah, it's worth paying the extra. So is there anything else you want to add and share of things that you're doing differently and that are helping get the results that you're getting?
Well, I would just, again, push video. Because people, I don't want to say people are lazy anymore, but if you see something written on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you might look at it. If you see a picture that kind of engages you a little bit, but a video, I know there's some sort of percentage of how long people, you know, view a video compared to text, but there's nothing more powerful than video. And if you can do video every single day, it doesn't matter what it is, do something of some sort of, you know, just give information, just be the guy that's educating people, and do video every single day. That will make you successful, because that's what I've done. And like I've said to you many times, I almost feel like I don't deserve these lists because I don't have 20, 30 years of experience. But like you said, maybe that's a blessing. And because I'm so used to the American way, video. And you know, in America, they're very over the top, very enthusiastic. And I was there for 8 years, and it can take its toll on you a little bit. But in the UK, we're so opposite and so reserved that what I'm trying to do is find that perfect balance of creating video every day, but not being too over the top. And I think if anybody can take anything from what I'm saying, is do video every single day if you can, and just make it happen, because it gets amazing results, and you never ever know who's looking at you. And that person who's looking at you yesterday, if they see another video of you the next day, that you're constantly in their head, and they're constantly getting to know, even down to your facial expressions and the way you speak, and they can almost pick up your personality. And those videos that you're doing are actually working for you. They could be getting you that listing without you even knowing it.
And you obviously have invested a lot into Facebook advertising, obviously great targeting, you know, the ideal seller or the ideal buyer. Can you share the story of when you were doing some Facebook advertising in California and who one of your clients was? Yeah,
he wouldn't let us push it, unfortunately, but he's one of the CEOs of either Facebook or Google, so we'll say one of those. And we were advertising, he picked up on it, became one of our biggest clients, wanted to use him for a testimonial, but he couldn't do it because he wanted to protect his name and what he spends his money on. But if he's looking, and if all these other buyers are looking, and you can target the people that you want to target. Just because you do a Facebook video doesn't mean it goes out to 18, 20, 25-year-olds. You can target it to 40 plus. You can target to people within a 25-mile radius of you who earn 100 grand plus. So all of my videos, they go out to the people that I want them to go out to.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll mix it up a little bit. I'll drop the age range or I'll widen the audience just to see what kind of feedback I get. But I know I'm Oxfordshire based, so I'll do everything in Oxfordshire for my general videos. But when I'm selling a property, it will go to Mayfair, Knightsbridge, Chelsea. It will go to Oxford. It will go to Solihull. It will go to Knutsford and Cheshire. So I'll be very strategic with what I'm doing, and I'll invest in my posts. But again, like I said, it's a tool, and you have to do it, because you could just send a video out and it could be seen by 5, 10, 15 people. But for £5, you could be seen by 2,000 or 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Most of them are probably not interested, but one of those people are. And you've just spent £5 to get a new instruction. It's just, it's the best investment you can make. Brilliant. And the way of the world is social media, and everybody's scrolling through their phone. So why not be in front of their faces?
Yeah. And anyone can do it. I mean, you don't need to be a rocket scientist. And, you know, I've got a friend who's a dentist. The amount of time he had to spend in education and university and then dentistry college or school or whatever, literally probably 7 or 8 years, maybe more. And working, you know, constantly to you know, in his role, someone can literally come into a estate agency tomorrow, you know, with no estate agency experience, and just be an expert in marketing, create videos, create content, put it on social media, and get similar results to you. And I just think it's inspirational. I really appreciate you sharing it today. Not only your journey in the previous video, but more in depth about how you did it and what you do. And I'm very pleased to see the results, you know, and it makes it very rewarding for me and satisfying to see that, because, you know, all I want to do is help agents be successful and do well, and to see our clients get better results, you know, to get proper marketing, get the best price for their house, and they're prepared to pay for that. And it's obviously, I say pay more, that they're actually better off because they're achieving a higher price for their house. So, you know, it's really, really good to see, and I do appreciate you sharing it, and I'm sure it will inspire other people, and people will follow you on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram to see what you're doing, and you'll have a positive impact on the estate agency industry. So, you know, keep doing what you're doing, keep sharing. We could speak for hours.
We could.
But we're going to wrap it up there. And, you know, maybe we'll talk again in a month, 2 or 3 months, and see how you're getting on. It'd be great to follow your journey and see where you are in 12 months' time. And I've no doubt you'll just go from strength to strength. And, you know, you've earned that £40,000 in 1 month. There's no reason why you couldn't be doing that every month. And the potential is there for you to do that. So congratulations, well done, and thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like more information about becoming a self-employed estate agent, I will add a link in the description. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.